Do you believe there could be a land that was once the cradle of civilization, where writing, the wheel, and even the very first numbers were born, yet at the same time remains one of the harshest places to survive? Iraq, a country tied to the tales of 1001 nights, with unusual culinary feasts and hospitality so overwhelming that you can't even pay for your own meal. But behind this warmth lies shocking marriage customs, massive cemeteries that send chills down your spine, and the paradox of sitting on oil while lacking electricity. If this journey of discovery awakens your curiosity, a gentle click on subscribe is more than enough for us to keep going further together. And right now, let's start from the very beginning, the place where human history truly wrote its first page. Are you ready to touch the cradle of civilization? Number 15, the cradle of civilization. If you've ever thought that civilization only bloomed in Egypt or Greece, Iraq will make you reconsider. This land was once called Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers, where the earliest people learned to plant seeds, raise livestock, and transform clay villages into the first cities on Earth. They invented cuneiform writing to preserve memory, created the wheel to spin commerce forward, and laid the foundation of mathematics with the number system of 60, the very system still present in today's 60 seconds per minute. They even looked up to the sky to write calendars, forecast harvests, and tell mysterious tales of the stars. Standing in Iraq today feels like stepping on the very ground where the first pages of human history were written. If you could travel back to live in the very first civilization, would you choose to be a mathematician, an astronomer, or a storyteller? And from that brilliant cradle, a city rose to become the shining jewel of the Middle East, a place tied forever to the legendary tales of 1001 nights, Baghdad. Number 14, Baghdad and 1001 nights. Amid the desert's harshness, Baghdad once shone like a sparkling gem of the Arab world. Built in the 8th century with its unique circular design, this capital quickly grew into the greatest hub of knowledge, trade, and art in the medieval era. Over 1 million people lived here, where scholars, poets, and merchants from across the globe gathered. The bazaars overflowed with spices, fabrics, and books, and every language blended together like a living symphony. And right here, the timeless tales of 1001 nights were born, from Alibaba to Aladdin, spreading across the world. Baghdad wasn't just a city, it was a bridge between reality and legend, a place where travelers felt as if they had stepped into a dream. If you could wander through an enchanting night in old Baghdad, would you choose to stroll the spice-filled markets or listen to a legend under the glow of an oil lamp? And within that dreamy picture, another side still captivates every visitor, Iraqi cuisine, where each dish carries the soul of its people. Number 13, Iraqi cuisine. Iraqi cuisine is like a flavor map, each dish holding the spirit of an entire nation. Along the Tigris River, masgouf fish is split open, propped up around glowing coals, releasing a sweet smoky aroma that demands patience. Suzi is a grander feast, an entire lamb stuffed with rice, nuts, and spices, roasted for hours until finally shared among family. Dolma, more delicate, packs rice and meat into peppers, grape leaves, and eggplants, stacked like colorful little towers. And during holidays, trays of kaak cookies imprinted with ancient wooden molds are served, holding memories of generations. For Iraqis, meals are never just about eating, they are sacred rituals of connection. If you were invited to an Iraqi table, would you eagerly wait for the smoky masgouf fish or marvel at the colorful tower of dolma? And just like those rich flavors, Iraqi culture adds another special spice, a hospitality so overwhelming that you can't even pay for your own meal. Number 12, overwhelming hospitality. In Iraq, hospitality isn't just politeness, it's nearly an unwritten law. At a restaurant, if you stand up to pay, someone will often rush to cover it first. Passing by a food stall, if your eyes linger too long, the owner may hand you a taste without hesitation. Even complimenting a household decoration could mean the host insists on giving it to you, as though their joy lies in generosity. For Iraqis, generosity is honor, it proves their hearts are wealthier than any fortune. That's why meals here don't just fill your stomach, they overflow with warmth that lingers forever. If a stranger insisted on paying for your meal or gifting you something you admired, would you feel embarrassed or touched? If hospitality is the spice of daytime, then when night falls, Iraq will surprise you with a side few expect, a vibrant nightlife. Number 11, Nightlife in Baghdad and Erbil.
If you picture Iraq as a land asleep after sunset, Baghdad and Erbil will shock you awake. In the capital, Cradle and Jadria streets glow with lights, where locals sip strong tea, smoke shisha, and play dominoes late into the night. Along the Tigris, groups of friends eat ice cream while music and laughter echo, drowning out heavy memories. In Erbil, the capital of Kurdistan, nightlife feels just as modern as anywhere else: bars, lounges, rooftops, where Western beats merge with Eastern drums. The atmosphere feels both familiar and foreign, both traditional and modern, revealing that Iraq isn't just history, it's a youthful heartbeat awakening day by day. If you had one night to wander, would you choose the riverside buzz of Baghdad or the glowing rooftops of Erbil? And just as the night lights reveal a youthful Iraq, the morning shines on another striking image: Iraqi women, mysterious, strong, and surprisingly modern. Number 10. Iraqi women and diversity. When people think of Iraqi women, they often imagine Middle Eastern mystery: warm olive-toned skin, thick dark hair, and deep eyes that hold untold stories. But diversity is the truest picture. In Baghdad and Basra, you'll see women in jeans, shirts, even dresses, working in offices or strolling with friends. In rural villages, traditional modest dress ties them to the past. In Kurdistan, women even serve in parliament, join the police, and fight for human rights. Modernity and tradition coexist, painting a complex portrait that forces outsiders to rethink old assumptions. If you could speak with an Iraqi woman, would you ask about her dreams, her family traditions, or her balance between past and present? And as tradition and modernity march together, Iraq bursts into color with its unique festivals, solemn yet dazzling. Number 9. Unique festivals. In Iraq, festivals aren't just events, they are echoes of history and faith. During the month of Muharram, millions flock to Karbala to mourn Hussein, grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. Streets flood with black-clad crowds, prayers rise into the air, and plays reenact the epic Battle of Karbala. The atmosphere is solemn, profound, and deeply moving. In sharp contrast, Basra's date festival bursts with joy. Over 600 date varieties are displayed, contests crown the most beautiful bunches, while music, dance, and sweet stalls fill the streets. One side is devotion, the other is celebration, and together they shape Iraq's soul. If you could join one, would you stand in Karbala's sacred procession or stroll through Basra's colorful date fair? And just as festivals reveal two sides of life, Iraq's landscapes also amaze, where history and nature combine into breathtaking wonders. Number 8. Famous tourist sites. If anything can make you forget images of war, it's Iraq's landmarks. In Erbil, the citadel towers after 6,000 years, layers of mud brick homes piled like pages of history never closed. Farther north, Goli Ali Beg waterfall cascades down cliffs, spraying cool mist that cuts through 120 degrees Fahrenheit 50 degrees Celsius summer heat. In the south, the Mesopotamian marshes spread like a giant mirror, where floating houses, wooden boats, and river markets revive ancient rhythms of life. These sites don't just look beautiful, they prove Iraq is a land of survival and renewal. Would you rather stroll the ancient citadel, cool off in waterfall mist, or drift on a wooden boat through endless marshes? But even amid beauty, Iraq hides mysteries, where myth and reality intertwine. Number 7. Mysterious sites. In northern Iraq stands a strange tomb known as the Grave of the Nameless One. It rests on a round boulder over 10 feet high, with no stairs or path. How did people place a body in such heavy stone there? Stranger still, during full moons, the tomb glows faint blue, like mist. In Najaf, the Wadi al-Salam cemetery stretches over 3,700 acres with more than 5 million graves, where locals believe spirits still walk among the markers. Some rows stay spotless despite dust storms, as if guarded by unseen hands. Mysteries like these give Iraq an aura of legend. If you stood before that glowing tomb at night, would you step closer, or keep a safe distance? And like its ancient mysteries, Iraq's marriage traditions continue to astonish the world. Number 6. Unique marriage customs. In many rural areas, marriage isn't just love, it binds entire clans. Cousin marriages are still common, sometimes nearly half of unions. There's also exchange marriage, where two families swap daughters without dowries, tied by mutual obligation. If one couple divorces, the other must as well. In tribal disputes, reconciliation marriages once gave women as peace offerings to end blood feuds. Though modern law restricts such customs, many persist quietly, sparking debate about tradition's deep roots. If you witnessed such a wedding, would you view it as cultural curiosity, or worry for the people involved? And from these traditions, we see another Iraq, a land where nature itself seems determined to test human survival. Number 5. Harsh geography. If nature is a harsh teacher, Iraq is the toughest classroom. In summer, temperatures soar beyond 120 degrees Fahrenheit, with hot winds cracking desert ground like shattered glass. Each year, 20 to 50 sandstorms rise, some as tall as 50 feet, choking skies and halting life. Water depends almost entirely on the Tigris and Euphrates, but both rivers start outside Iraq. When neighbors build dams, Iraq's flow drops by up to 70%, turning farmland into wasteland. Yet Iraqis endure, finding ways to adapt and survive in land that seems to fight them daily. If you had to live through 120 degrees Fahrenheit heat and choking sandstorms, how long do you think you'd last? And paradoxically, beneath that scorched earth lies treasure, oil, and sweet gifts like dates and honey. Number 4. Resources and paradox. Iraq holds the 5th largest oil reserves in the world, pumping millions of barrels daily. Yet ironically, even the capital sometimes plunges into blackout. Locals joke bitterly, we have enough oil for the world, but not enough electricity for our homes. Mismanagement and corruption turn abundance into burden. Still, Iraq offers sweeter gifts. Once the world's largest date grower, tens of millions of palms lined its rivers, producing golden fruit that filled markets. Iraqi honey, pure and fragrant, is prized across the Middle East. This paradox makes Iraq both tragic and alluring, a hidden treasure amid sandstorms. If you could bring home one keepsake, would it be a bottle of oil or a jar of golden honey? And just as dates shine beside dark blackouts, Iraq's modern history is woven with light and shadow, beginning with a war that shook the 21st century. Number 3. War and 21st century consequences. On March 20, 2003, Iraq became the world's focus as a massive military campaign began. In less than 3 weeks, the old regime collapsed, but at the cost of a dangerous power vacuum. Government systems crumbled, security disintegrated, and religious and ethnic rifts deepened. From this chaos, extremist groups rose. At its peak, ISIS seized Mosul, turning it to rubble. Though Iraq has reclaimed its land and started rebuilding, the scars remain, a shadow etched into people's lives. Families rebuild homes while carrying memories of loss, hoping for a day of true peace. What's harder to heal, shattered buildings or broken hearts? And just as a nation must learn to rise from ruins, travelers must prepare themselves, with cultural wisdom and safety tips. Number 2. Travel tips and safe conduct. In Iraq, preparation isn't just about packing, it's about behavior. A photo near a bridge or government building can draw questioning, as such shots may be seen as security risks. In holy cities like Kabul, even smoking or chewing gum may seem disrespectful. At night, avoid wandering deserted areas, since small criminal groups still exist. If invited to dine, eat a bit more before saying, "I'm full," since refusing too soon might make your host feel they've failed. Iraq greets you with warmth, and your own thoughtfulness unlocks its best memories. If you travel to Iraq, what would you prepare more carefully? Your camera to capture sights, or your cultural sensitivity to blend in? And after all these colors, flavors, and challenges, the final question remains: how much does it really cost to explore Iraq? Number 1. Real travel costs. Many assume Iraq means expensive luxury, but reality is surprisingly modest. A night in a mid-range hotel in Baghdad or Erbil is $40 to $60, while guest houses or homestays run $20 to $35. Street food meals of simoon bread, grilled meat, and mint tea cost just $3 to $5, and a decent sit-down dinner ranges from $10 to $15. Local taxi apps charge about $3 to $6 per ride, while long-distance buses between cities are $15 to $25. Entry to sites like Babylon or the Erbil Citadel is $5 to $15, and a full-day local guide is $25 to $35.
Altogether, a 7 to 10 day trip fits neatly into $600 to $900 per person, far more affordable than many imagine. With that budget, would you travel Iraq the frugal way, comfortably balanced, or fully indulgent? And just as numbers close the journey, what truly matters isn't money, it's the emotions and stories you carry home. Thank you for traveling with me to the very end of this journey through Iraq, a land as harsh as it is mysterious, yet filled with warmth and surprise. Every land has its story, and today we've only opened a single chapter. In the next video, I'll take you to another country with secrets even stranger. Are you ready for the next adventure?